Leo, I'm going to go ahead and start with an intro for you, and then we'll actually get into the adventure proper. But for your own information, you were sent to Red Larch, starting from Summit Hall. So you can see Summit Hall there on the map. And you were
Where?
sent.
How much again?
Summit Hall is here.
No, I meant where am I sent? I
You were
found where
sent
I am.
to Red Larch.
Oh,
Okay.
got it.
You were sent by Lady Ocean Stormbanner. She's the overseer of Summit Hall. You've been training there since childhood, or whatever. We'll work that out. I think you did actually define most of that, but it's slipping my memory. So anyway, you were sent to Red Larch. You were told to make contact once you were there with Emdar Ralvander. I'm going to spell that for you. And you will find him at the All Faiths Shrine. So you're headed for the church in Red Larch. And you, of course, your mission, well, you know what your mission is. You're all over that. Let me go ahead and get everybody moving, and then we'll do some intros for those of you who are new. Everybody who played yesterday did an intro, and I'm going to highlight those on YouTube so you guys can go back and watch those. That way we're not
Oh, we
doing
have
like
a YouTube channel?
Yeah, been the GM. I haven't
Oh, sweet.
done much with it lately, but yeah, I'll go ahead and make highlights out of all those intros and get them done. That way they're, permanent record kind of thing. I will do like a quick physical description from each person, but we don't have to go into the whole, not as involved kind of an overview. But those of you who are new, yeah, well, let's do the whole thing. As far as like Dibble, Meld, Leo, and
Lucian.
where are you, Lucian? Did I not get you copied? There you are.
I'm at, yep.
There you are. You blended right. I'm on another screen. You blended right into the background. And Lucy.
It's what I do.
Nah, there you go. Good check. Nice. Okay. I'm on another screen, just getting you guys kind of situated both on the map and in my head. Lucian, similar story for you. You have been sent from Waterdeep.
Okay. That is where exactly?
Scroll down, or you see on the local map there, Amphale is due south of Red Larch. Yep. That's about 3 days from Waterdeep.
Gotcha.
If you go to the map below that, you'll see Waterdeep's on the coast, and there's a road between Waterdeep and Red Larch. And yeah, just scroll down to the big world map.
Oh, gotcha. Yep.
Amphale is the town right in between that. So yesterday's adventure was the party went from Amphale to Red Larch. So you're kind of just following the tracks of that.
Great.
You would have seen the remains of some carnage, some dead horses, and tribesmen, and some shallow graves dug. Looked like a battle took place. But traveling alone, you don't come across any problems.
Great.
It's no problem there. You have arrived in Red Larch, and you've been told to make contact with Mangobarl Lauren. No, sorry, wrong name. Zagim is the guy you're looking for.
Okay.
You actually were supposed to meet up with Zagim in Amphale, and I'll type that name in.
That'd be great, yeah.
That's his name. That's the guy you're supposed to contact.
Oh, great, I spelled it right.
Yep. You arrived in Amphale and found out that you were a day behind. You missed him by a day. And he headed on to Red Larch, so you're still looking for him, headed for Red Larch.
Okay, and I was supposed to meet him in Anhill?
Amphale.
Amphale, yep.
There you go. That's the name of that town.
Great.
And I'll have you do an intro here in just a second. I'm just going to get everybody kind of an idea of where they're at and where they're going. Dibble.
Yeah.
Check what your faction was. Yep, okay. Similar story, Dibble. You were sent to Amphale to make contact with Zeta, and you missed Zeta by a day. She headed on to Red Larch with a caravan. But you know how things work in the party that you're, or the faction that you're a part of. A little bit of independence there. You're just gonna have to head on your own. So you're still looking for Zeta.
Okay, let's find Zeta.
And she is assumed to be in Red Larch, unless she was one of the corpses that you passed. You have no way of knowing because never met Zeta.
Okay.
Meld,
Alright.
Meld, you were sent to Amphail, same thing, looking for Artran. I'll never say his name right. And same story. You missed him by a day. So each of you are kind of like traveling. And
Are we traveling together, or is this just like kind of a coincidence?
It's coincidence. And I was going to say the long road is a well-traveled road. A lot of caravans move. If you go to the world map down there, you'll see the long road goes from Waterdeep to Yarder, which is a fairly large city, and on up to Silvery Moon, which is of course the capital. So it's the road between two major capitals. So it sees plenty of traffic. So you guys would see other people, and hence why it was raided. Why there was, seeing the remains of raided caravans at battles is not uncommon. You guys would all know that the Uthgard tribes do a lot of raiding in this area. There's plenty of orcs. I mean, this is the frontier. The Desserin Valley is wildlands. It actually was called the Wild Desserin Valley or something like that at one time. Starting to get a little bit more settled as time goes on, and the long road is definitely well traveled now. So yeah, so it's a thing where you guys might see each other on the road, but you wouldn't know each other from any of the other many travelers that you might see throughout the day, depending on how fast you are or slow. And of course, the rest of you with the caravan have arrived in Red Larch. So this is the day that we'll be starting the 8th, Mirtul the 8th, and it would be evening that everybody's arriving in town. But before I jump into that, let's do some intros, starting back with Leo. And here, let me move you guys to where I'm at, so you can see what's going on here. Oh, you weren't supposed to see everything. Let's do that. That's just some notes for me. It's not like any secrets or anything. So you guys are on the map at the top left.
Oh,
Should have your tokens available. There's a big map, top left corner. Okay, just had to have you guys all on the same screen so I could show you this. Go ahead with an introduction, Leo.
Alright. Leo is a human paladin. Physical description would be white hair, pretty tall, 6 inches, 6 feet and 6 inches. Pretty strong build. You're wearing heavy armor. Chain shirt, if I remember correctly.
Chain mail, if it's heavy.
Yeah. Heavy armor. The right hand gauntlet looks a bit different, as if someone would know better would know it's resembling the symbol of Torm. And on my left shoulder piece would be the symbol of the Order of the Gauntlet.
And that actually I have. It's this.
Yeah.
Great.
Nice.
Fancy.
Getting better all the time.
As I said, what would be dark black eyes. What more did I miss?
What about weapons?
Oh yeah, weaponry would be a glaive in the back and a few javelins. There's a shield just in case, but we would prefer using the glaive.
Yeah, shield doesn't work well with glaive.
Yeah.
Alright.
What more?
Yeah, I had to get my page open here to make sure that I have everything covered. Yeah, you got your religious symbology, you've got your what you look like, who you are. The only other question I have is if you were to walk into a room and see the person you're looking for across the room, lock eyes with them, what would you do? Or like, how would you react?
I would look at them, make a nice grin, smile like, and approach to them.
Cool. So open and friendly.
Yes.
Cool. All right. Yeah, I don't have any other questions. That pretty well covers it. Straightforward. Let's do Lucian next. Get your picture up here. Go ahead.
Great. So, Lucian is about 5'2". He's going to be a half elf with brown hair and kind of like goldish, elven eyes. He is a sneaky man, if you will, and things that he can't solve with, smooth talking, he will with his rapier or his short bow. Really, is the kind of guy I'm trying to be. Yeah, I grew up on the streets, so kind of a ruffian, if you will, and yeah, I'd say that's about it. I'm wearing light armor, and yeah, I'm just a smooth talker and a smooth, sneaky person, I'd say.
Nice. Any obvious religious symbols that you would wear?
No major affiliation, I'd say. Not really.
Okay. And do you wear any sort of armor?
I'm wearing some leather armor right now. Just kind of your standard stuff.
Okay, you said short bow and rapier.
Mm-hmm.
What is the quality of your clothing?
Weather beaten, I'd say. Definitely has seen some battles, some weather, and yeah, definitely worn.
Travel clothes, okay.
Yes.
And I ask this of everybody. When you make eye contact with somebody across the room, how do you respond?
Well, assuming I'm trying to be friendly, I'd go up to them, probably offer them a drink and try to sweet talk them. If there's someone I'm trying to subdue or take down, I'd make sure I see them before they see me, that's for certain. And then I'd just play it smart from there.
Cool. Goal-oriented. All right.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Got it. Cool. I don't have any other questions. Yeah, I guess the rest we'll find out as we go.
That's what I hope.
Let's do Bibble Dibble. I'm going to do that every time. Dibble the Bibble.
Dibble they bibble. Yeah, no, I like that picture too. Yeah, he's obviously he's a halfling. Brown hair, green eyes. Always has a sly smile on his face, like he's up to something, because he usually is. If you know of him or you know him, you know that he's a playful type of person. So if you can't take a joke, you might not want to hang around him too much, and he might realize that and want to mess with you a little bit more. But he won't mess you to the point to where you'll get really pissed off. If he sees that, he'll probably leave you alone. But if he thinks his life is in danger over it. But that's just kind of his nature. It's happy-go-lucky, kind of bounding around from place to place. Either playing pranks or playing games with people, whether it be dice or cards or whatever. Let's see here, what else can I describe about him? Height, he's only 3'1". Average build, wears leather armor. Has obviously a small shield. Has a rather, because he's a halfling, he has this mace on his belt, which actually looks kind of oversized for him given his size. But he has that kind of hanging off to the side, and then on the other side of his belt, he has a dagger in that portion sitting there, as well as he has his backpack. He seems like he's he just has way too much stuff for such a little guy. Has a crossbow kind of hanging off the side of his backpack, and it seems like it's got a number of things in it, and there's a couple other little pouches kind of hanging from his belt.
It's like Samwise while he was traveling with all that gear.
Yeah,
a little bit more weapon oriented.
Mm-hmm. And another thing too is he's often flipping a what appears to be a fairly, not really a large, but I guess larger than normal size copper coin that he's always flipping around and catching and just playing with, most of the time. And sometimes he just he'll put that away. But that's actually if you actually look at it, you'll actually see um, it's not like a legal tender type of coin. It has like a face of somebody on it.
Mm-hmm.
If you know anything about religion, you'll recognize it's the face of Tamora. That's pretty much it as far as physical description and everything else. If he was to lock eyes with somebody across the room and to approach them, he probably would do something to mess with them as he came upon them. If they're like, about to take a drink or something, he might use thaumaturgy to kind of shake the ground a little bit to cause it to spill in his mouth or whatever. And he'd probably get a giggle out of that as he introduces himself. But that's basically how he would approach somebody.
Cool. All right. Yeah, I think that covers it. All right. Last but not least, I've got Meld. I do have both your pictures, Meld. I got this one. Fairly, I think most what's to see there is the weapon. And then I've got this one. It's uploading.
Alright, so he's that's with his head scarf off, and he'll take it off when he's in town because masks are usually outlawed. So he's got a little bit of stubble. It's kind of patchy. He has dirt, especially around his eyes. Brown eyes. Can't really see his hair because he still has his headscarf on it. So he has a leather cloak, linen headscarf, and under all that he's got a black coat of plates that reaches just below the knee, and a tunic right underneath that. Leather gloves and boots. He's got a quiver of javelins underneath his cloak, coming out the side. He has a very large bardiche. It's way too big for his size. He's like 5'8", maybe 160 pounds. And a small stone crescent hangs from the blade of the bardiche. If you knew about Saloon, you'd probably get that. Represents that god. And if he were to see someone, he'd introduce himself with a nod and ask if they need any help with anything. And his clothes are very dirty. There's mud on them and dirt, grass stains, maybe a little moss. But he doesn't smell bad. He smells earthy. That's about it.
Cool. I don't have any further questions. Pretty well covered it there. Okay, so everybody knows where you're headed. You guys have never been to Red Larch, so I'm not going to be telling you what the numbers mean, and you should be able to, and you can't see what they mean. So, we've got the rest of the party coming into town with a caravan led by Zagim and Zita, of course, holding her guts in. And she's going to be, I forgot to have Artran out there. That's how stealthy he was. Just didn't see him out front there. He comes back and steps out of the forest ahead of you guys and says, "The road's clear. They're all the way to town. Let's make haste." And Zagim rubs his hands together in anticipation of finally making it to a town. He's been looking a little itchy on the last day or so. And so,
I know why.
Yep, you know why. And you guys are headed on into town. Zagim has Zeal in tow there. Okay, Zagim. So yeah, he just grabs you by the sleeve there, Zeal, and says, "We are headed for the Swinging Sword. Only for a moment. We're gonna stow
Is that
the."
like a gay bar?
He gives you a flat look, and then he slaps. Ah, I get it. And he claps you on the back. He says, "No, we're just gonna be stowing the cart. That's not innuendo. And then we're going across the street to the Helmet High Sun. It's a little bit more our speed. Come on." And so they take the cart and all that. Zagim doesn't even give you guys a backwards glance. Basically, you guys get here to the crossroads with the cart and all that stuff, and Zagim doesn't even glance at the rest of you, doesn't give you a goodbye, doesn't care. You're in town, he's got no more business with you. So he says that to Zeal. He says, we're headed to the Swinging Sword first, and then to the Helmet High Sun. For the rest of you, our train stops about here on the road. And that's where he'll kind of hold up. Let's see, and that's the rest of you, really. Zeta takes Kellen and the others, everybody else. What was it, Ebenezer? And she just continues on to town. She says, she gives a nod to Artran and waves to the other two of you, Leah and Mortrose, and she says, "Safe travels to you all. I hope to see you again on this side of the Veil."
Likewise, safe journeys.
And so she takes off.
Zeta.
Yep, and that's, yeah. So Artran stops about there, and he says, "This is as far into town as I go. I brought you this far." He says to Mortrose, "You will all be able to find safety here, safety and anonymity." He kind of gives you a look up and down, and he says, "I advise you to head for Mother Yolantha's." And he points, he says, "Continue on to the crossroads, and then you're going to head north past both of the taverns, make a right, and then it's the last building on your right. It is a low-cost inn and a place where a few questions are asked."
Understood. Is there anything else you want of me? I'm still not exactly sure that I've joined the right place, so to say.
Well, I'm not sure that you've joined, if you know what I mean.
Yes, indeed.
That was never
Still.
really discussed up till now, but if you show an interest, that might be something that happens. Artran says to you, Mortrose, he says, "You are combat worthy. I'm sure that you will have no trouble making a profit here. Red Larch has its share of problems that I'm sure you could help solve." He nods towards Leah and he says, "I would say stick with her." And he says to you, Leah, "You will learn nothing from me following me around the wilds. I can teach you nothing about that. You will learn everything you need to know by helping the locals of Red Larch." He says to both of you, "I would offer your services to the constable. His name is Harburg."
Harbreck or Harburg?
Harburg, and I will even get you a last name. Tooth Marilar. He is the butcher's husband, as well as being the constable. And you will find him, of course, at the butchery. And he gives you directions to the butcher, which is, he says you're going to go to the crossroads. You're going to head south And you're immediately going to make a right. And, well, you can't miss the butchery.
Head right
Understood.
when I get to the crossroads.
Make a right. It's the number
Okay.
11. On there.
All right.
Just to help you out there.
And despite our differences, I still wish you safe journeys.
He says, I wish you safe journeys as well. Safer than the ones we've had so far. He kind of glances at both of you, doesn't nod or anything else, and just starts heading back up the path. Let's see.
She
This is
slowly
where-
turns to Leah.
Go ahead. You can go ahead. I need just a moment to look something up.
She slowly turns to Leah. So, how long have you known him?
For as long as you have. But he is a brother from the Brotherhood. But I see that you don't know that.
Well, knowing and experiencing are two different things.
This is where, give me just a second here, if you guys don't mind. I try to get this ready as quick as I could. Yeah, that'll be fine. Actually, it might actually make more sense this way.
So what sort of balance exactly are you trying to uphold, as he spoke of?
You don't know anything about balance?
Well, whose balance
The
are you
universe's balance.
trying? And who decides that exactly? You on a whim?
You don't know much, do you? Well, that's
How
what I
many
expect
times I've
from
had
a
to deal with
half-blood.
Yes, yes. I wouldn't expect good manners from you either.
Manners are beside the point.
Mhm. Yeah, with you it sure seems that way.
All right, so you guys, one by one, will trickle into town. Let's see. Who was supposed to meet Artran? I know Meld was. Was he the only one?
Are you talking to the new guys?
Yeah. Meld, I think, was the only one who was supposed to talk to Artran, right?
I thought it was.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Okay. All right, so Meld, as you're coming into town, it's twilight, dusk, getting dark, and something detaches itself from the shadows of a nearby tree and approaches you. He looks like this. And he gives you a nod. He says, I was supposed to wait for one more, but the caravan left. We couldn't wait any longer. Are you Meld?
I am Meld. Are you Artran?
I am. He
It's good to meet
says,
you.
he gives you a terse nod. And he says, welcome to Red Larch. He gives a dismissive wave over his shoulder. I'm on my way out of town, but I understand you have goals here. I have my own path that I will be walking. I've got no interest in going into the city. He says, Red Larch has its share of issues, and there is one in town that I would advise you seek out. I've already given her instructions. Her name is Leah Cianadel. She is a high elf, dressed in leaves and feathers like me. Probably the only high elf in town. He says, I just told her to head for the butcher shop. If you don't find her there, you'll probably find her at the Swinging Sword. And he gives you directions. The Swinging Sword's number 2. The butcher shop's number 11.
Okay. I nod and just continue walking into town.
All right. So Mel's in town. Dibble and Lucian.
Yep.
Yep.
Dibble. Who did I tell
For
you?
Zeta.
Thank you.
That's-
All right. Trying to get on track with everybody here. So it's getting dark. Your obvious choice would be to head for what? Where you guys? Where? Let's see. Lucian, where would you be heading? Coming into town at night or just dark?
I'd say a tavern first, a cheap one.
All right. Sounds good. So as you come up the road here, it would be
Okay.
easy. As soon as you hit the crossroads, you'd hear the raucous good times happening. On this side, it would be more calm conversation and lights, of course. There's plenty of people enjoying themselves. But on this side is loud music, laughter, fist fights. Just as you come up, one guy gets thrown out of the front door and bowls out into the street in a pile of dust. The windows are already covered in iron bars to preclude any window breaking. So that would be the place, probably.
Definitely. All right, I'm gonna make my way over there then.
Sure. Let's see. Right across the long road from the Swinging Sword Inn stands a ramshackle 2-story tavern. Rusty metal grills cover its small, dirty windows. The tavern's name is clearly printed in large, simple letters on both sides of a jutting wooden sign. Atop the sign is a rusting, oversized adornment, a warrior's bucket helm with 2 icelets. It's actually an upside-down washtub. It is called the Helm at High Sun.
Great.
Okay, so you're there.
Yep.
Zagim and Zeal, that's where Zagim dragged you. You just walked right in. That's the place. And Dibble, where would you be headed as you come into town?
Wherever the action is. You know me. I like to party. Dibble likes to party.
Well, there you go. Same place. Yep. You'd be following the trail. There's plenty of people headed in there. The more refined establishment would be on the left, the Swinging Sword. And it'd be fairly obvious from the crossroads. Number 1 there on the map is the All Faith Shrine, Leo. But that doesn't mean that's where you have to go. You would be coming into town, Leo, from the east.
Yes.
So where are you headed as you come into town?
I was told to go to the temple, you said? Forgot the name.
All Faith Shrine. Here, I'll type it.
All Faith Shrine. Yes. I copied that. So I will ask for directions and go there.
Yeah.
To meet
People would see you.
Imdar.
What was his name? Imdar. As you're coming into town, anybody that you stop and ask, they would see your symbols and your armor, and they would smile and gladly help you along your way and point down the street and say you can't miss it, straight ahead. Lucian, first time playing. Your character has 300 degrees of vision. 60 degrees directly behind your head, you cannot see, so you'll have to rotate your token to see behind you.
Gotcha.
That's
Thank
what
you.
that is. Yep.
Okay. Oh, cool.
Here, let me type that. Let's see. The Helm at High Sun is the
Yep.
Loud Tavern. There you go. Since there's a bunch of you doing that, give me a moment to catch up with you guys here. I am going to get a map for that.
I forgot to specify, but I'd be going to a tavern too. I don't think meeting the constable at nighttime is going to be a very good idea.
Head straight for the tavern. All right. No problem.
Oh, it's nighttime.
Yeah.
Yes.
If it's nighttime, I'd probably be going to the pointed out tavern.
What number was the place I was supposed to be?
Number 3 is the Helmet High Sun.
Oh, gotcha.
I'm just getting it set up. Just need a second. Since a bunch of you are there, I'm going to go ahead and set up a scene. Leo, you were headed to the shrine, right? You're not going to a tavern?
Yes.
Okay. Is anybody not going to the Helmet High Sun?
I was going out to the pointed out tavern by Archer, and I'm not sure if that's the same place. I think it was a bit further down the street there.
He actually sent you to a flop house. It's a low-cost inn rather than a tavern. He was telling you where you could lay low for a while, was his advice.
I see.
And it was called, type it in here, Mother Yolanta's.
Mm-hmm.
All right. We'll have you actually do that here in a second. So, Leah, you head to the butcher's and you find, of course, the place is closed. It's getting late. But, Leah, you get plenty of stairs. A high elf riding through town on a war horse.
That's why I went behind the buildings.
Okay. So you're going
Because
in
I cut down
people's yards and...
Well, because I went. Well, no, here, hold on. Because I went through here and then I cut down this path.
Yeah.
And then I went there.
Okay. Yeah, you find the place closed.
I'm gonna go ahead and just tie the horse up here. And venture.
Okay.
And look for the constables.
Okay. Are you asking around or are you just looking?
I'm looking.
Okay.
I don't talk to people.
Right. Yeah, this would be, you'd be fish out of water here. This being, human village, not all anything you're used to. Dirty, noisy, loud, ugly.
My kind of
muddy,
place.
disease-ridden. All right.
I can't believe my feet are touching this ground.
Thought you were used to dirt or something like that.
It's different dirt. It's disgusting. It's tainted.
All right. Let me get situated here. So I've got Zagim, Zeal, Lucian, and Meld. Oh, I missed Bibble. How can I miss Bibble to Dibble?
He's pretty tiny.
Dibble to Bibble. I'm going to mix that up every time. D before B.
Yeah.
Okay, all of you guys going into the Helmet High Sun. Did I miss anybody? All right, that's all of you guys. Okay, so I'm gonna, for the rest of you, just to make it easy, because we'll just do this. try to make this quick and get you guys all on the same page here. Move you over. It's going to be, there won't be anything to see for, that's why I'm going to try and do it quick. There won't be anything to see for you guys who are not on this scene. Here's what I can do though. And remind me, somebody please remind me to remove access to the camera. I'm going to let you guys see through the Twitch camera so you can at least see what's going on.
Okay.
Yay.
Yeah, this would be pretty boring otherwise. And like I said, I'm going to try and do this quick. Yeah, because 4 of you are here. Okay, you guys should be able to see now. Zagim and Zeal were first ones here. Zagim kicks the doors open, saunters right in, and flops himself onto the chair here at the table and shouts for booze. He says, the cheapest swill you got and keep it coming. And Zeal, what do you do there?
Oh, I'm gonna say another round on Zagum too. One for me. And I'm gonna start interacting with everyone in the place. Dancing, singing, enjoying myself.
Nice. Yeah, it's a pretty raucous bar. Let's make that a thing. Close enough. When you say that, Zeal, I don't know, while you're spinning and dancing, you can see Zagim slowly getting more drunk, and he's staring daggers at you.
I just give him the biggest, brightest smile I got, and just laugh.
He gives you the biggest, brightest smile he's got with his mouth, but not with his eyes.
I seem to pay no mind to it.
All right. Next one in was Lucian.
Alrighty. I'm going to saunter in, gonna take a look around, and I'm gonna say, is anyone here, Zagim? Just gonna blurt it out.
Nice. This guy here turns in his chair. He's he's sitting legs far apart. He turns halfway in his chair and puts a fist down on his right knee. Keeps his elbow on the table with his hand around his drink. But you can see he's got a bandolier of knives that are pretty visible there and a rapier in his belt. There you go.
Okay.
And he sizes you up and he says, who's asking?
Lucian's asking, that's who, the one and only.
He says, late to the party, huh?
That's my style. I'm gonna go over to his table, gonna sit down, kick my feet up, and get one of the wenches to get me a cheap and strong drink.
She's your barmaid?
Perfect.
She delivers a drink to Zagim, goes behind the bar, and gets you one as well. And how much does a cheap drink cost?
Yes, good question.
I got it right here. It's in your handouts, actually.
Okay.
There it is. 2 copper is a cheap drink here.
Great. I'll take it. I'll throw her about 6 copper, tell her to keep him coming, and I'll flash her a little smile and just a little twinkle in my eyes.
She leans, dips pretty low when she sets your drink down, gives you a wink, and heads back behind the bar.
Alrighty.
And Zagim says, gives you an appraising look. He says, well, I guess you look about as qualified as anybody I've gotten lately. What's your skill set?
pointy things, knives, rapiers, and I don't fight tough, I fight smart. I try to end a battle as soon as it starts and get out there without a scratch. That's my style.
He takes a long drink from his cheap ale, sets the mug down, it's empty, and he says, a man after my own style. You will do well.
I can already tell we'll get along, Zakim.
Yep, he says that's great. He gives a dark look to a ostentatiously red-haired man. It's a red afro, right, Zeal?
Yep.
It's like, the image is loading on my end, right?
Lord.
Yeah.
Silly.
It's taking a while to load up there. But anyway, yeah, he's got a red afro and he's out there dancing. There would be... Give me a second here.
I love his shit-eating grin. That's just the best.
If this picture ever loads, let me click it again and see if it'll just go. Maybe it's roll
Yep.
20.
I saw it.
Yeah, it's still loading on my end. Give me 1 second,
Sure thing.
because that's not the right music for where we're at.
Ooh,
I think roll 20's done on my end. I don't have music or...
I don't know.
Right here.
I'm getting music.
Going
Yeah, I was
with
going to say. You guys, let me reload my tab and see if that helps.
Sure.
I'm having a couple of issues here. It's like Skype's working. The tavern sounds were still working, but
Yeah, I have that, but I don't have any music.
yeah, the music stopped.
I can hear the tavern music as well as the
Yep,
sounds.
same here.
Okay,
It's
Yeah.
us.
it's on our end,
Okay.
but Skype's still going, so that's odd. Oh wow, I had a critical failure.
Somebody out there shot
Apparently
up their
my-
roll 20.
Yeah, my Chrome just rolled a natural 1.
That sucks.
Wow, that's crazy. Yeah, roll 20 didn't like whatever I just did. Let's see if I can. Give me a second here. Technical difficulties. This does happen entirely too frequently. Let's see if Firefox will cooperate. No, not getting anything. Well, I'm going to give it a second. I'm going to take a quick AFK and give it just a second to load. I think, well, Skype's still working, so something's gone weird here. Be right back. Give me just a second.
Mhm.
Sure
Alright.
thing.
Man, I love that picture so much.
It's pretty cool.
So quiet.
Okay, I'm back.
So, what do you think is gonna happen? I mean, with a party of 7 people, it's gonna take a long time to get everyone together.
Well, last night the battle was pretty long, but then again there was like 15 enemies, 5
Mhm.
horses, and 6 of us, along with like 4 NPCs on our end.
Oh, wow, man.
So it was a lot of stuff for Ben to handle.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I bet he has a classic tavern brawl prepared if you start one.
And we basically had a useless high elf called Alchemy. Screw that guy.
Useless.
Absolutely useless.
What, the
That
NPC or
fucker had an
just?
advocate, man. I only fight with 51%.
Oh, jeez.
51% chance victory.
That's not the best odds, but. Mm-mm-mm.
Okay. Things have. Whoa, that's loud. Turn that down a little. There we go. That's a bit more manageable. I got all these sounds built in from my last campaign, and I don't quite know how to place the volumes without playing them.
Mm-hmm.
They're amazing though.
Mm-hmm.
So far, so good. I think the tavern could be a little bit higher. And if anything is too loud on you guys' end, you can control the volume on your own options window
Yep.
if you need to. So, okay. Okay, so Zagim was saying, Lucian, you are going to be a good fit. He says, gives a nod and a dark look at this guy. Well, low. There it goes. Yep, and he's over there dancing, having a good time. And he says, that putz over there is going to be your accomplice. I'm going to need you to keep an eye on him and keep him reined in. Just on the journey here, he almost got himself killed 3 or 4 times.
I think I saw your guys' handiwork then on the way here. Yeah, he looks like he'll be a tough one to manage, that's for certain. I give him a nod and maybe like a half smile or a little wave.
Zeal smiles back very brightly and sort of waves his mug around. And then runs over to the bar to go tell stories of his adventure.
Zagim hooks your ankle with his own leg, because he's kind of looked like he was just stretching a little, but then he hooks you, tries to trip you up a little bit, and for a moment he leans close to you and he says, "Try something like that again, pup, and I'll take the remainder out of your hide."
He's like, "Sorry, boss, didn't mean to." And just keeps on running along.
All right. Next one into the door is Meld. So make your entrance.
Alright, I'll walk in and scan the room. I'm looking for either that moon elf or anyone making eye contact with me.
Nobody really pays much attention as you come in unless you're making a scene.
Is there
And you don't see any elves.
is there any maybe farmers?
Oh yeah. You can tell pretty quickly this is not an establishment for travelers. This is the locals bar. These are people, these are townsfolk, not people from Waterdeep. And you can tell, pretty obvious. Farm folk
All
from
right.
city folk.
I will lay my bardiche down on this table and take a seat and wait to see if that elf shows up.
Okay. Dibble, make your entrance.
All right. Boom. 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 You guys hear like this loud, like large footstep approaching the door as like the whole room seems to shake a little bit. And as you guys look at the door, little Dibble goes pushing the doors open and says, "What? It's over?"
That's awesome.
And he looks around the room, sees there's
You get a lot of laughter from the group.
Okay, that's kind of what he wanted to do.
Yep, you made a scene.
All right, but would he recognize the person he's looking for, Zita? Or no?
Let's see. What's Zita? Yeah, Zita would be here. Yes. You were given a description at least. Which means that you did not see her corpse on the road, so you would assume she's alive, and she is The only half orc in the establishment, all the way in the back.
That is where I will go.
That is Zeta.
Alrighty. Oh, okay, I'm going through people here. And, alright. I'll approach her and I'll say, Zeta, is it?
She glances around, seems a little confused, and then looks down. She says, "Oh, hello. What can I do for you?"
This is, I've been looking for you. You know, I've been sent to find you. My name is Dibble. Dibble's a Bibble. Friends call me Dibble. Most call me Bibble.
When you said that you were looking for her, you saw her hand start to stray towards her great axe. Then when you say your name, she relaxes a little bit. You can see that she's got some bandages around her midsection that are bleeding through to some extent, but she's trying to drink away the pain. Best half-orc medicine she could find.
Okay.
She says, Dibble, yeah, we were waiting for you, but we had to move on without you. I'm glad to see you made it to town safely.
Said, well, I got here as soon as my little legs could carry me. So I understand, I know a lot of times I get left behind because of these little stumpy legs.
She says, well, a little person in the right place can make a big difference, but I guess better late than never. She says, I'm going to need some time. I'm laid up. I took some bad hits on that last caravan ride. But there is a guy here in town that I'll have you go and meet tomorrow. His name is Valivo. He's got a shop, Valivo's Sundries. I'll type that for you.
Valivo's Sundries.
She says, he's a friend of mine, and he'll be able to kind of give you some direction for the region. He's got his ear to the ground, and he can kind of direct you and tell you what's worth looking into in the region.
Okay. All right. I said, thank you very much, Zeta. I appreciate it. I said, I'm sorry about what happened to you, as I kind of point to her wounds. I said, but I honestly believe that laughter is the best medicine for anything. And
she takes a long drink and says, I'm hoping so.
I take a look. Who's two people that are kind of sitting right over here by the table where we're at? I recognize them at all or no?
Which two?
If not, this guy and
oh,
this...
the two at the table with her?
Right, yeah.
Well, you can tell pretty clearly that they're both armed. One wears armor and has a sword, and the other one looks a little foresty, and he's got a bow. And they both have guarded expressions and keep their heads down. They don't really want to interact with you. And
Okay.
Zeta does not introduce you to them.
Oh, okay. Well, I ask her outright. I'm like, I point directly to her. Are these your companions?
She gives a glance at him and she says, they are associates of mine, but we're keeping a low profile right now, if you don't mind.
Oh my goodness. I said my apologies, and I kind of, give a bow, being that I'm very short. I almost like put my head to the floor, and then come up. And I said, well, in that case, I will leave you be, and I will look for Valho Sundries.
Valho Sundries. She says, if you're looking for lodging, if you've got some money to spend, the Swinging Sword is the place to go. If you're a man of comfort and taste. But if you're like me and you just need a place to flop for a day or two, you'll want to head to Yolantha's, what's it called? Mother Yolantha's.
Mother Yolantha.
It's just around the corner to the east. Yep, she's got a flop house there. It's basically a hostel.
Ah, okay. All right. Well, I will consider that. I said, but for now, and I turn around and look at everybody's kind of like out here, and I kind of look over at this group over here, and I just saunter on over there, pulling out a deck of cards, plop down on the table and toss a silver piece up on the table, and I said, who's up for a game?
Nice. And there they are. A silver piece, yeah. They this guy that's making the correct gesture. He gets up, his eyes are all twinkling, and he wipes a little. Looks like he has some kind of flour or sugar or something under his nose, and he wipes it away. And he's like, "Ha! Well, I'm out of money." And he jumps out of his seat, overturns it, and he says, "You're up, buddy." And he basically sprints out the door.
Okay. I said, excellent. I get like in the chair. Like I said, start shuffling and start just dealing out cards. Well, I wait for them to actually ante up before I start dealing anything out.
Of course. We'll do some checks and see how you do. But let's get some other people doing things here.
No problem.
Actually, yeah, we'll come back to that. Let's come back to that. Let's jump out here real quick for everyone else. Got Zagim here, Meld's here, Devil's here. Got the whole pile in there. Leo, you enter the shrine. The shrine, of course, is open at all hours. On the west side of the long road, just south of the inn's stable yard, stands what looks to be a grand stone mansion. 2 wide wooden doors painted with the symbols of many gods stand open day and night. Inside is a plain chapel with a stone altar. The All-Faith Shrine is a wayside shrine used by many faiths and owned by none. Priests shuttle out from Waterdeep in pairs for month-long stays. You already know that from, you were given that as a briefing. Each pairing includes priests of 2 different faiths arranged by Waterdavian temples. They dwell in stone rooms in the back. The 2 that are here now, and you were briefed on this as well, are Imdar Relvander, who is a follower of Tempest. Not quite Torm or Tyr, but he's got his ear to the ground and is a contact for your order. The other is Lemira Aldark, and she is a devotee of Suni, who is the goddess of love, of course. And so when you come in, they are still awake. She would be the one who is here. He's not. Let's get her out. There you go. Well, I pasted. Come on now. I got a delay here again.
Now she's twice.
There it is.
Yeah.
We got some. It's a busy Saturday night for the Roll20 servers, I'm guessing. That or it's our connection. I don't know which. But this is. Let me get a better picture. These are her vestments. So here you go. This is what her clothing looks like. Wow, that wasn't any bigger. And this is what she looks like.
Got it.
She is actually elven. But you know that because of the briefing you were given, but it is hidden by her hair. She does not advertise that. And yeah, she does have the holy symbol of Suni, who's the goddess of love, marriage, all that good stuff. And she is there. She's got a couple of people coming by giving offerings, and she's accepting them and offering blessings. You see a young couple there giggling and walking out, and she's smiling after them as they leave. And then her attention turns to you, Leo. What do you do, Leo? Did we lose Drizzt?
Hold on. No.
Are you muted,
Hello?
Drizzt? Oh, there you are. I hear
yeah.
you. He was muted,
I
huh?
pressed mute on my headphones.
That's the first time that you've done that. I love when... Were you
Yeah.
talking to an empty room?
Yeah.
That's my favorite. We've never had
I
you
mean,
do
my
that.
Skype wasn't unmuted, but the headset was
Yeah,
a
but-
mistake.
We'll let you get by one time. Okay, so her attention turns to you. What do you do?
Alright, I smile, approach, and say, "My lady, do you know who Imda Landa is, and where he is?"
She sees your holy symbols and your armor, and she says, "Welcome, warrior of the light." She says, "Of course you're looking for Imdar. He is having dinner at the Swinging Sword right now. Is there anything I can do for you?"
My lady, I was sent here by the Order of the Gauntlet for a contract. I am not sure what you can do for me, but maybe you can help me find him. The Imdar Landar. Bah.
Certainly. She says that you are certainly welcome to stay here and wait for him, or you can go to the Swinging Sword and meet him if you're in a hurry. And she gives you a warm smile.
I'm in no hurry. I think I can wait.
Okay. So you can sit for a little bit.
For welcome.
She offers you a glass of water.
I accept that and say, "Thank you, my lady," and drink it.
She says, "It's good to see more of your kind coming through town. There have been some dark dealings lately, and I'm glad that Summit Hall has seen fit to send a few representatives. We need all the help we can get." And about that time, he walks in. She looks up as he walks through the door, and she says, "Ah, Imdar, this young warrior is here looking for you." And that's him. Let's get the bigger picture up. Whoop. Yep. He is a Northman, which you can tell by his hair. In Skyrim terms, he would be a Nord. It's Eluskan, I believe is what they're called in Forgotten Realms. And he's got a dark look. He's kind of a middle-aged. Well, let's see, we've got a description, don't we? A stern man. And he looks at you, but his cold stare warms quite a bit when he sees your religious markings. And he says, "You wouldn't be Leo, would you?"
Yes, I am.
Says,
Are you Imdar?
He says, "I am. My name is Imdar Relvander. I am a follower of Tempest, and I know you are a follower of Torm, but for now at least, our paths converge." He says, "I was told that you would be coming to town. I hoped you would bring more followers with you, but you look capable enough. We're glad to see you, and we will accept any help we can get. The town of Red Larch faces many problems, and we're glad to see Summit Hall taking an interest."
I'm here to help as much as I can.
He gives you another nod and a cold smile, and he says, "Do you have a place to stay? I know it's getting late already."
I guess not. I didn't think about it.
He gives you another nod, and he says, "We don't have accommodations here, unfortunately. There's only room for the two of us." He glances over at Lemura. He says, "I don't know how they pay these days at Summit Hall. If you've got money and looking for comforts, you could head just the next door north is the Swinging Sword, or you can head over to Mother Yolantha's, which is around the corner. It's fairly cheap for those on a budget. Although," he says, if you do end up staying there, I would highly recommend heading to, give me a second, I gotta find the name. This is where, if you guys could imagine, building this entire town is an undertaking, and I've got it about halfway done. I've got a name. I just gotta find it. Oh, I guess I don't. I've got it. Let me just find it. Yep, there it is. He says, if you do end up staying at Mother Yolantha's, I highly recommend heading to Halia's. She operates a bathhouse and has a very clean establishment. You feel like a new man afterwards. And he gives you directions to there. If you're interested, he says 3 more doors north of here. It's number 15.
I guess I'll head for the sweeping sword for now.
He lays a hand on your shoulder and he says, I'm glad to see that you are a man who takes orders well, but I will give you some parting advice. He says, I'll save you a trip coming back and talking to me tomorrow. I don't have anything that I can give you directly. There have been rumors around town, though, and I can give you some places to head first thing in the morning. He says, Minnie Mandiver, who runs Mandiver's Poultry, her granddaughter saw some ghosts out in the forest recently. I would check up on that if I were you. And he gives you directions to that. It's several houses to the south. It's number 14. And of course he says, check with the constable. The constable would know best what's going on and directs you to the butcher shop. Okay.
I thank you.
And that's 11, yeah. And you said you were going to the swinging sword?
Yes.
All right, cool. Got money to spend. Okay. Mortros, what are you doing?
She would be headed towards Mother Yolenta's because it's late and, well, she was walking together with Leah for a moment until she turned to the constable and decided not to tag along with her. What does the place look like?
That's a good question. I will tell you. This 3-story dilapidated boarding house has many balconies and outside staircases. Inside, the place is a warren of narrow, creaky-floored passages that snake around small rooms made of flimsy partition walls. However, the atmosphere is cheerful, if generally noisy. So if you were to go in there, yeah, that's kind of the atmosphere that you're walking into, and close-ish to the door is Mother Yolanta herself.
What a looker.
Yep. There's an old woman. There's a couple of near the entrance. There are a couple of youngish-looking field workers. Look like they've been in the fields working all day, and they're having a little bit of a scuffle. And she cracks both of them in the back with her cane and says, "Knock that off before you break something." And she says, "Come on in, dear," to you, Mortros. And says, "Are you looking for a
Internally,
room?"
she thinks, what is it with these old people with canes and pushing people around? Go on.
She says, "Are you looking for a room, dear? We've got plenty."
Yes, absolutely. Only something for the night, but I might be staying longer if I find some way of getting a bit more in my coin pouch. Might you perhaps know anything of such nature? Some work that needs to be done?
She looks you up and down and says, "Well, I don't know what kind of work you're willing to do. There's the fields. There's some trouble
I'm
around
inquiring
town."
more about the dangerous kind of work.
She gives you a wink and she says, "I didn't think you were wanting to go to one of the houses of ill repute here." And she escorts you to one of the rooms, talking the whole time. And she says, gives you kind of the same advice you've already got. Talk to the constable. She tells you that, let me get my names here. She says, young Pell, granddaughter of Minnie Mandiver, saw a ghost out in the forest recently. And that would be worth looking into. And of course, there's banditry on the roads. There's always banditry on the roads. Talk to the constable. He'll pay you a bounty if you're just looking for some easy money. And she gives you another look and says, "Well, if you come back in one piece, it's easy money." And she cackles.
Have you had other travelers passing by recently?
She gives you a hands in the air gesture. "Oh, there's always travelers coming through here. I don't even learn the names, so don't tell me yours."
Good. Very good. Thank you.
And she escorts you to a room which is little more than a straw pallet next to some hastily set up walls. a cubicle, pretty much. And she points to a bucket and says, "That's for the necessities," and to a flea-infested straw mat and says, "And that's for sleeping." And then she kind of holds a hand out and says, "For one night, you say?"
Mm-hmm.
2 copper.
Of course. I am going to give her a silver and say, "Oh, and you never saw me here."
She gives you a wink and a thin smile and walks away.
And as I enter the room, I begin to cast prestidigitation to clean everything as best I can before going to take a rest.
Sure. You'd be at it for a little while, probably a good 10 minutes of prestidigitation to get all the lice and droppings and
Good
everything out of them.
practice.
Yep. But you get there. Get a fairly clean straw mat. Yeah, thanks for running me.
Well, there's not much else for me except, well, she'd be heading towards Constable to ask more about these ghosts in the morning.
Right. Let me see if I can.
She's
get you
not
guys
really
all...
a tavern person.
Right. So I can get everybody going in one direction here. Leah, what's your plan?
Before I head out, I'll probably undo all of the equipment on the horse. It shouldn't be bound like this, especially representing the evil bandits. So, I'll undo everything and then hide it in the bushes, because I think there's some bushes over here. And then probably bring the horse down to the water hole.
It is a shallow pond that animals are drawn through it to clean them, and they can take a drink. That's what it's for. It's livestock.
Okay, so I'd probably put the horse down there and see if I can tie him up somewhere.
Yep. So you keep the bridle on him.
The bridle on him,
Okay.
but everything else is going to come off of him and hidden.
Okay.
And then I would probably keep wandering through town and looking for either the constable's office or him, or just listening to what people are saying to visitors, cargo vans, things like that. Watch where they're going.
Make a investigate check for hiding. See if you found a good spot. It's intelligence. Yep, you found a real good hiding spot. Nobody will ever think to look there. And make a charisma check. This is Streetwise, which is a 4th edition check, but it's for listening, overhearing conversation without interacting. You're not getting much from that. Most people are talking about the problems. You hear about the ghost that little Pell saw. You hear about possibly some goblin sightings in the same general area. There seems to be some conjecture about that. And of course, you hear a lot of rumors about bandits on the road. That, so-and-so was just waylaid by those bandits. Not like she had anything to take anyway. And wonder that there any goods make it to Red Larch at all with all the bandits on the road.
When I passed through here, did I see was there a sign on this shop, and possibly when I passed this?
Sure. You're keeping track, aren't you?
Yeah.
Learn the layout. Number 12 there is a plain square building coated in a gray-white shroud of rock dust. If you were to peek in a window, you would see that it has basically a bunch of rocks inside. You're not sure why. There is... And you also saw shelves in the back full of neatly sorted scrolls. But there's no sign. You're not sure what the establishment is. And
Okay.
I'm sure you're going to ask about 16 as you go by. 16's obvious.
13.
Oh,
13 and 16.
13, you're right. 13 obvious as well. It does have a sign called Ironhead Arms. So it looks like a arms and armor shop. It's night, and he shutters the windows at night, so you can't see inside to see what sort of merchandise he has. 16 is a wagon works, very obvious. A lot of wagons. You see that whole lot there, fenced in. A lot of half-built wagons. Okay,
How
Leah.
far down through the town do I get?
Well, where are you headed?
Straight up the road to try and see if I can figure out if the constable's there or
You
where
don't
to
find
go.
the constable.
All right.
So where are you headed?
I guess to the local tavern. No.
There's a very noisy establishment on the right, fistfights, raucous music, and drinking, and on the left, people and lights, but it's fairly quiet and subdued.
I would go to the church.
Okay. You would meet Lemura and Imdar in there. They're talking quietly. There's candles lit. It's a pretty calm scene. And they ask you what they can do for you. Or are you just here to offer homage?
I will offer 2 copper to their religion god and ask if they would be so humble to advise me where to go that is a safe place for food, shelter for the night. I'm here looking for the constable. I was advised that he would be able to help me. But as I know that his butcher shop is closed.
They both smile and nod. They give each other knowing looks and split the 2 coppers between the 2 of them, 1 each. And you, well, no, you wouldn't know that. So, and they say, yeah, Constable is a popular man. You will find him at the butcher shop tomorrow. Tonight, hard telling. Depends on where the trouble is. If there is any. You're looking for a place to stay. They give you another look and they say, you should head to the Swinging Sword. It's the next door to the north.
Thank you. So I shall head up there.
Okay. Let's see if I can get you guys moving. We've got... Get you guys spread out a little bit so I can see names. So I already got more troves paid for. And we're looking at Zealmeld, Dibble, and Lucian. The Helmet High Sun does not have sleeping quarters.
All right. Well, I assume Zeal and I meet and greet and introduce each other and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask him, so do you have any idea what our mission is supposed to be? I was told pretty much nothing.
That makes both of us. I just came for the ride. What a ride that shit was. And then
Zagim is well into his cups by now, and he gives you both a bleary look, and he says, look, here's the deal. I'm heading on tomorrow. You pups are going to stay here in town and seeing what kind of trouble you can get into, alright? Make some money where you can, and you, he points a finger at Zeal, you're going to pay me back double.
what do you mean pay you back? I helped get the cargo here safely. That was my fee.
He withdraws his finger and then points at you again, gives you a hard look. Clenches his teeth. And then he says, I'm heading on tomorrow. The 2 of you are staying here. You're going to go talk to Mangobarl Lauren. I will type that.
Great.
He runs Lauren's Bakery. Can't miss it. It's the only baker shop in town. And he gives you directions to it. It's number 8. Just up the street. It's actually kitty corner from where you're at right now. So you're going to go talk to Mangobarl. And he pulls out a badge. The badge looks like this. He says, he hands one to each of you. It's on basically parchment. And he says, show him this when nobody's around, and he'll kind of put your feet in the right direction. Make sure that you make some money, and don't forget about my cut. Now get going.
All right. I give him a curt nod as he heads out.
Zeal smiles brightly, sort of skips his feet out very widely and starts whistling as he heads off.
And where are the two of you going to be taking lodging?
Well, knowing myself, I'm going to look for someplace nice and cheap, so I suggest the cheapest inn we can find, Zeal.
Yeah, I'm just right now following around with Mr. Smooth. That's what I'm going to call him from now on. I saw he handled the barmaids.
Cool.
All right, so I imagine after walking around a bit, we find Mama Yao's house or inn.
That's right. Yep.
So
She greets you at the door, and yeah, two of you are two of several drunkards stumbling into the place, laughing and having a good time. She makes sure to get her payment and basically shoves you into empty rooms with rat and flea infested cots. It costs you each
perfect.
7 copper.
Sweet.
Considering we're all drunk and tired, I'm not even going to argue with that. I hand her the 7 copper, give her a little wink, and as she leaves, just kind of slap her butt on the way out. Thanks, Mama Yao.
She gives you a crack with her cane, but it's not a very hard crack.
It's a playful crack, I can tell.
I assume you also pay, Lucian? Oh, that was Lucian.
Yeah, I pay, but as
Zeal
soon as I
and
walk
Lucian,
through that door, I just sort of faceplant onto the ground. And I'm out for the night.
All right, got you two taken care of. Dibble, throw me an intelligence check for your gambling. Let's see how you did. All right, Dibble, you come out ahead. How much did you bet? I should ask that ahead of time, shouldn't I?
50 gold.
All in.
How much did you say you put out? Or did he say?
I think it's silver.
Yeah, I think you said a silver.
Yeah.
Dibble, are you
no,
with us?
I'm sorry, I had myself.
There you are.
I put
Talking to
one
an empty
silver
room.
to start. I know. There we go.
All right, you come back with 3 silver then.
All right.
You fleeced them, and maybe knowing when you were being faithful to Timora, know not to push your luck.
Mm-hmm.
Know when to hold them.
Right.
And so, where are you going to be flopping for the night?
Let's see here. He told me about. He told me about what the Mother Teresa, whatever.
You got
place,
Mother
and
Yolanta's on the right, and you got the swinging sword on the left.
the swinging sword is a bit more swanky. All right.
Yes.
Go to the swinging sword. Why not? I think I deserved a little.
You earned it.
Yeah, I earned it. You know, tomorrow smiles upon me.
Nice.
So I'll go over there.
All right, so we've got Leah, Leo, and Dibble so far heading to the Swinging Sword. Here it is. One door north of the All-Faith Shrine is the Swinging Sword. The inn is a 3-story stone structure crowned by steep slate roofs that bristle with many chimneys. A signboard juts out over the door hanging from chains. It's a 10-foot-long carved wooden scimitar emblazoned with the inn's name in red paint on both sides. An inn yard with stables and outbuildings lies behind the building. The Swinging Sword is welcoming and luxurious by the area's rustic standards. Each room boasts a hearth, warm draperies and tapestries, and running water provided by rooftop cisterns. There is a top floor where people can quote-unquote sleep cheap for the Swinging Sword, which can be shared with up to 6 other people, or 5 other people, 6 guests. The lower floors are divided into pleasant suites of guest rooms, each with its own garderobe, and there's a dining room on the ground floor. So, let me give you some prices so you know what you're up against here. If you're looking to stay in the sleep cheap, it's going to be 3 silver. If you want a room of your own, oh sorry, let me take that back. It's going to be, look at the wrong scale here. It's going to be 8 silver for a room of your own, or 1 silver for the sleep cheap, shared with other people. Let me ask each of you, Dibble, which one are you going for?
I'm going to sleep a little cheap tonight because that's a little pricey, but It's better for me anyway because I like being around people.
All right. 1 silver, and you are set. Do you eat? By the way, did you eat anything? Did you run off rations?
No, actually, I will go ahead and if I can get something to eat here, I will.
Yeah. A meal here is 3 silver.
See, all the more reason to go cheap. So yeah, I'll do that.
All right.
3 more silver.
3 more silver.
Okay.
Everybody else drank their dinner, I guess. Leo, sleep cheap or a room of your own? First off, it was 1 silver or 5
I'll
silver?
go cheap. I have no problem with sleeping with others.
1 or 8, sorry, 1 or 8. Okay, so 1 silver for Leo. And what about a meal? Are you eating rations?
Yeah,
Or are you gonna have dinner?
I'll eat too.
Okay. So that is
So
6
4
silver
silver
total. Yeah.
Oh, what?
6 silver,
That's
right?
one
It was 1 and...
3, no?
Oh, no, you're right. Yep, 3, 4 total. Thank you.
Alright.
And Leah,
Yes.
sleep cheap, room of your own.
Can I do a perception check to see if I see that they're going to the room of their own and decide after that? Like if I'm hearing them. I like to see who goes in that room before I decide if I'm going to go in it.
You see a heavily armored man and a halfling who seems to be having a good time, and some other travelers. They look road weary, not locals.
All right, I'll go in the room and I'm going to eat a meal. So sleep cheap.
Okay, 4 silver for you. And somewhere in there, I lost track of Meld. Melded into the shadows.
Yeah, I'll be going towards the butcher shop and maybe sleeping under the stars. See some bushes over here.
Sleep real cheap. All right.
Maybe forage some grass or something.
Yep. Go ahead and roll that forage check. That's survival, wisdom. You can tell the livestock is a pretty popular thing here in Red Larch. A lot of sheep move through, a lot of cattle, and of course the horses from Amphale are in plentiful supply even here. And you are unable to find any food. All the easy pickings have been taken. So it's a hungry night.
And I'll be going to sleep.
All right. That's you'll have to be careful with that. If you go too many days without eating, which I'm looking at right now, you start getting exhaustion. Okay, just looking that up. But it's based off con. I'm sure you're fine. Yeah. Did I miss anybody? Has everybody got a place to sleep for the night?
I think so.
Seems like we're all set. Okay, here's what I'm going to do. Out of character players. It's already been almost a couple hours. Let's get you guys on an adventure of some kind. As players but not characters, discuss, do you want to go talk to the constable about bandits on the road, or do you want to go talk to the little girl about the ghost she saw? And I'm going to take a quick AFK while you do that. I'll be right back.
I'll vote bandits.
I'm not sure that my guy is able to hit any ghosts if there is.
Same here.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Well, it could also be a trick of some sort.
Yeah, it could. It could, but
Well, that one lady said that she thought that she saw goblins in the same area that the girl saw the ghosts. So it could just be goblins instead of ghosts.
well, yeah, it's a little girl too, so more imagination, right?
Yeah. But I still want to go see the constable. But that's just me.
Yeah.
Is everyone going to see the constable? Because I know, like, Zeal and I were told to go see someone
Yeah,
else.
we're going to see Mr. Mango.
Yep, the Mango Man himself.
Mango Man.
All
But
right.
didn't you also mention to make some money or whatever while you're here?
Yeah.
Yes, he did.
Yes, he did.
Definitely.
So I imagine going to Constable to go, you
Okay.
know,
Yeah, I could see
probably
that.
be something that I could see. I mean, even though Dill would probably be more interested in dealing with the little girl, if the whole group is
How-
kind of more interested in doing the Constable thing, I'm cool with whatever.
How would we know of the constable?
They said to meet him at the butcher, and I'm sure he's probably. I don't know.
But well, like me and Lucian probably don't know about that, right?
I mean, I don't think Zakim
I mean-
outright said to go to the constable, but I mean, I'm sure we could
He's
ask
just said look
around.
for work. Yeah, we
Yeah,
can
and people
contact
be
that.
like, you should check out the constable.
All right.
Okay, so Jan's going for ghost. Leo wants constable. And I guess most
Maybe
of us are
put
going
it
for
in
constable.
chat or something so Ben has an oversight.
Okay.
Yeah, that
He's
sounds
back. Yeah. I'm not
I'm
near
here.
my chat log.
That was a good call. Yeah, there was some mention of goblins with the ghost too. So what's going on?
Well,
Well, I would say I'd go with constable just because I don't think my character would be too bright enough to think of goblins at first. So he'll try to stay as far away from ghosts as he can for now. So I'm
yeah,
picking
and I'd probably tag along with Zeal, so we'd probably go the constable.
Okay. That's right. The two of you were told to go talk to
Mango.
Mango
Moran.
Barrel.
Yes, that guy.
And he would echo basically. You guys, I'll quick story it. You meet Mango Barrel. Here he is.
What a
He,
looker.
he is the baker,
Uh-huh.
and he's got a story for everything. Anything you mention, he can top it. Oh, that's nothing, and he'll launch out his
Baked
own
goods
story.
do you sell?
One of those guys.
And one of those guys, he sells. I'm glad you asked. Crumble cake, which is a Red Larch specialty. It is a hearty food which is useful on the trail. It is baked loaves of turkey and wildfowl scraps, nuts, chopped roots, greens, mixed in a chickpea mash. At
And
best, it's
does that
bland.
last
At
a while?
bad, it is just god awful. But it would be like journey bread. It would last forever.
Ooh.
How much are they, Mr. Lauren?
Yeah, Mr. Mango.
Mr. Mango?
He gives you a dark look and he says, "Enough of that mango stuff. It's Mr. Lauren." And then he cracks a smile and says, "I'm just kidding. Call me what you want."
I love it.
And let me find
But I
it.
still need them prices.
Yep.
Yeah.
I may have misspoke. Is there a journey bread thing in 5th edition or no? I may have misspoke on that. I only see rations.
There's
Maybe
like loaf
not
of bread
yet.
and chunk of cheese. That's what I've been buying.
Or the DM just make it.
No, well, no, we're playing by the book. I'm going to stick to the book as best I can. They are rations, but he sells them for cheap. So instead of 5 silver, they're 4 silver.
Okay. Well,
Like-
I'm good for now, so I'm not
Yeah.
going to buy anything. I'm just going to eat one of my rations, and I'll mark that off.
Yeah, me too. I got
Okay,
that.
so that was, I'm still associating voices with names. That was
Lucian and Zeal.
Lucian and
Yeah.
Zeal.
I'll have 6 rations left.
I have 4.
Yep, all documented. Cool,
Great.
and thank you for that. More Tros, I assume you ate a ration.
Uh-huh. I can use prestidigitation to make it taste like whatever. So.
That's true. All right, more Tros, I've got your ration accounted for.
Make your
And
ration taste like Kobe beef.
I believe everyone else had a meal, so that's good. Yeah, and you guys are feeling okay on that. Okay, so what was the consensus? Talk to the constable?
Yep.
Yeah, I think most people were.
Yeah.
leaning towards the
Yeah.
constable.
Mangobar, all he was going to say is echo what you guys have already heard. That, and if you did you guys present your badges that Zagam gave you?
Yes.
Assume you did. Yeah.
So
We
he's-
kind of look around, see no one's there, flash it on the sly.
very good. He
I
gives you a wink and
barely-
taps his nose.
I sort of remember, but I'm like, I'm part of the flying snake, whatever that thing is.
Close enough.
Nice. He gives you a knowing smile and a wink, and he says, "I'll tell you guys what. There's a little girl here in town named Appel. She could swear she saw a ghost out near an old tomb, and I'll tell you what. I went and checked it out myself, and I'm pretty sure I saw a goblin. So I'll tell you what's going on. There's some windpipes that these goblins have set up to sound like ghosts to scare people away. Now I know my tombs, and we, and he's when he says we, he's talking about that symbol of the snake that you mentioned there. We
Yep.
can't have goblins laying claim to tombs full of loot. If I were you, and since we're all on the same page here, I'd go check that out and see what's worth having in that tomb."
Hmm.
But that's
I am very inclined to go there, Zeal.
Yeah, me too. I hear loot, and I am absolutely excited, as you can see by my smile.
Yeah, the sound of loot is exactly what I'm looking for. So,
okay. Well, we
Yeah,
have to. I can only run one adventure, so it sounds like 2 votes for the ghost,
yes.
and we've got 5 more people to cast votes.
We weren't there to hear that conversation.
Unfortunately.
And that's the thing. I got to get you guys all on.
So I would be in that room with the 5 other people, and I would be talking to them. Hello, I'm Leah.
Oh, wait, it's the tree.
Hello, I'm Leo.
Right, Leah, you speak mighty fine common,
So do you.
but you don't have to speak so slowly. I understand common just fine.
Me,
Oh,
me, Zeal, you, tree.
so many are so idiotic.
I say, well, this may be true. I said, but nonetheless, so we all know how to have a good time. And I, start, fiddling around with some dice. I said, do you play?
No, what is that?
I was like, you don't know what these are? And I kind of, I toss them over to you
I'll stare at him a little bit.
as they roll on the floor.
What are they made of?
They bounce off of it and land on the floor.
They're just like, just plain, yeah, they're just like plain, like I don't know, I guess maybe kind of like wooden, like dice or whatever. It's not like anything like really
pick
nice
them up.
construction.
I'll look at him. So primitive.
Okay, I kind of look at it like, are you trying to be condescending?
Well, no, but you're not of full blood.
Oh,
What
I'm-
are you?
I said, I'm full of blood, all right. So I'm 100% halfling.
Ooh. Well, I like halflings, and they're okay. So, what was your name?
I said, oh, my apologies. I said, my name is Dibble Day Bibble. My friends call me Dibble. Others call me Bibble.
But what shall I call you?
Well, I guess only time will tell on that. I said, I'll tell you what. I say, try your luck and roll the dice, and we'll see.
What skill?
If you know what the rules are, it's intelligence. If you're just looking to roll some dice, you just roll them.
Yeah, I'm just messing with you. Just
Yeah.
roll the dice. I'll let you know.
Well, how many
2d6.
dice? Oh,
2d6.
2d6? Okay. Well, I'll try. I like halflings.
9. Well, what do you know? Tamora smiles upon you. 9 is a lucky number. You can call me Dibble.
Well, Dibble, it's nice to meet you. And I
Pleasure to
shall
meet
not
you too.
speak slowly with you again.
Okay, I say much appreciated. And if I might be so bold as to ask what your lovely name would be.
My name is Leah Snowdell.
Leah Snowdell. Interesting.
It's Sienna-Dell.
Sienna-Dell.
Sorry, I've been drinking.
It's okay. Sienna-Dell. Okay. I say quite interesting. I say I've met a handful of elves in my day.
Well, then
Not
you've
too
been
many.
lucky.
Oh, it is I that I'm lucky. And I go
So-
grab a dice.
What are you here for?
I said, just here, there, just doing what I can to doing what is right according to Tamora's guidance. Just seeking to see what's going on in this town to help out, if I can.
I shall too are doing that. I'm supposed to go see the constable.
Oh, you are.
Yes.
So what is he offering as far as helping out?
I have no clue. But my guide has asked me to go see the constable to help this town with whatever evils present themselves to it. It's part of my journey.
I said, well, if you wouldn't mind, I sure would enjoy tagging along. So you're quite an interesting person to talk to. I haven't talked to too many people here in town as of yet. Just a few people in the local tavern. Played some cards. Tamara didn't smile upon them as much as she smiles upon me. And flip a coin.
Yes. I assumed that it probably wouldn't here.
Leo, do you have a morning ritual?
Like what?
A morning ritual, a religious thing that you do every morning, or any sort of equipment maintenance that you do, or anything like that when you wake up?
I don't think so.
Okay.
No.
I was just curious what you overheard the entire conversation. You were in the room with the two of them.
Yeah, I hear them conversation. I hear them, and when they and I'll approach them and say, "My lady, are you okay with sleeping in the same room with other guys?"
But of course, I have no worries. I know how to protect myself and to protect them. Who are you?
My lady, I'm Leo Regulus.
What
human.
are you?
I'm a human of the order of the gauntlet. Who may you be, my lady?
My name is Leah. Leah Sienna-Dell.
Oh, you have a similar name.
Another drink.
Human.
Yes, I am. So, I heard your conversation. I heard your conversation about going to the constable.
Yep.
Of course you've heard our conversation. Eavesdropper?
We're in the same room, of course. I don't need to eavesdrop.
I suppose you probably want to join us.
I guess if you wouldn't mind, I'll be glad to help you.
I say the more the merrier. I've always believed that the larger the party, the more fun you can have.
I agree with you. And who may you be?
I say my name is Dibble Day Bibble. My friends call me Dibble. Others call me Bibble.
Dibble the blibble dibble?
I say, just call me Bibble.
All right, people. My name is Leo. Nice to meet you.
I said, pleasure to meet you too. I say, so you say that you're, um, uh, what is it? The Order of the
Order
what?
of the Gauntlet.
The Gauntlet?
Yes.
Okay. I say, what is that?
It's an order that keep peace and justice, and help the weak and the in the need.
Ah, interesting. Well, for me, I follow Tamora, and she believes that laughter is will always heal all. It's always best
Laughter
to
is
go
always a
through
good
life
thing.
having a good time. That's right. So life is about going through and having a good time with those that you're with and those that you support.
Of course.
Balance. That's all I have to say. Balance.
Cool. All right. So we got 3 of you going in one direction.
Yep.
Let's see if I can get all the cats herded together here. You ever tried to herd the cats? Let's see. That sounds like you guys are having a good time. That's the point. We've got Lucian and Zeal on the same page. And here, give me Zeal and Lucian. Sound like you guys had some drinks. Roll me a con, save, and let's see how drunk you got to determine how much you sleep in. Zeal, you've got some physique. That saved you. Not for that. Lucian, you're no stranger to drinking, apparently.
That I am not.
So the 2 of you roll out of bed whenever you're ready to. Not feeling too much of the effects. Of course, it was the cheap stuff, so fairly watered down. And,
Figures.
What time do the 2 of you are looking to get up? Early, or are you going to sleep in a bit?
I'd say maybe a bit before midday, after morning, before midday, somewhere.
Okay.
10 more minutes, Mom.
All right. What about you, Mortros? Are you looking to sleep in or up at the crack of dawn?
Probably up at the crack of dawn. Find the nearest market. Get some rations for the road.
Sounds good. Okay. I don't know if you guys have seen it. I do have handouts that has all the equipment. It's in the handout section.
Yep.
If you are looking to buy rations, they are 5 silver a pop.
Mm-hmm.
At the market. There is a market. Market is number 21, which is actually, take that back. The number 21 market is only every 10 day that it is used, every Saturday,
Yeah.
if you will. So you're going to want to head to the bakery and get some crumble cake for 4 silver. Saves you some money, but it's not the best tasting. Well, you've got prestidigitation, so that's not an issue.
Yep.
How many rations are you
It
buying?
is the best tasting.
At 4 silver each, how many do you want to buy? Just shore up to 10?
I'll buy 5 then.
Okay, 5. That's
2
2 gold.
Yep.
2.5. Yeah, you're right. All right. 2.5 gold. Got you set up with. And you are headed. Where are you headed, Constable?
5 for silver each. That's 2.
Yeah, should be 2
And
flat.
after that, she would be headed to the constables.
Okay. Okay. Now I want to play this because I think it's funny. I don't know if you guys will think it's funny, but there's a moment where Mortros, you're coming around that corner there, or headed south just as Leah comes out of the building. The 2 of you see each other. Mortros, what do you do?
Great. Having fun already, are we?
And you see her, of course, she's got an entourage, a halfling and a heavily armored human with her. Leah, how do you respond?
I just smirk and kind of ignore the comment.
Cool. And you guys are going the same way. Okay, Meld, we haven't heard from you in a while. What time do you wake up?
Crack of dawn.
All right. And where are you headed?
I'm gonna wait until the butcher shop is open to speak to the constable. So I don't know
Gotcha.
if that's crack of dawn or what.
Yeah. No, they are at work pretty early. You head over there to the butcher shop. Give me 1 second. There's one thing I gotta do. I should have had done. I didn't. You see this guy working the butcher shop there. He's got his apron on, covered in blood. He's carving up a pig. And you see this guy very energetically slashing up a pig, wiping his nose on his sleeve occasionally and grinning the whole time. And this guy who helps herd the livestock around, pleasant looking fellow. You see this woman kind of overseeing things.
Ooh wee, mama.
Got some, of course, blood on her clothing there. That's just, that's her apron. She's a butcher. That happens. And this fella, who seems to be kind of running the show. Him and the other butchers are chit-chatting with each other, and you also see... Let me find him. This guy hanging by his belt from a meat hook. And at first he's just kind of hanging there, totally limp, arms down. And then you hear a groan. Ugh. And you realize he is still alive. You also see a puddle of puke beneath him there, Meld. As far as the butchers go, they're just chit-chatting with each other. They're kind of laughing and joking about the night they had, the night before, rounding up drunks, the usual. Let me go ahead and gather them up and put them on the map so we can see them. Whoops. There we go. So here's your 3 butchers. The lead butcher, apparently the woman's in charge. She's kind of overseeing things, and when people come up to buy meat, she's the one who does the buying and the selling. And this guy, of course, hanging by a meat hook. So, of course, she is the one who intercepts you, Meld, as you approach. She says, "Good morning, sir. What are you looking for? Ham hock?"
Well, Meld doesn't really know social skills very well, so he walks up to her and just asks, "Can I help you?"
She seems a little taken aback, and she says, "You seem confused, sir." And she gives a sidelong look at this guy, who immediately is on it. He kind of steps up next to you, and he says, "Morning, sir. Is there anything I can do for you?" It's this guy here. He says he's got that pig under her arm there, just like it shows. And pig's just oinking like crazy, and he gives you that smile that you see. And he says, "Fine morning to you. Can we sell you some bacon?"
I look at my bardiche and I say, "I'm looking for work."
He also looks at your bardiche, and he says, No, well, yeah." He kind of looks around at the other guys, and he says, "We don't really have much need for any more slaughterers here at the butchery. We got it pretty well handled." And you can see they've got slaughtering implements there on the back wall. And he says, "We have enough in the way of day laborers. Is there anything else I can do for you?"
I look at the woman and I ask her if she is the constable.
She kind of looks quizzically at you, quirks an eyebrow, and this guy says, the guy with the pig says, "No, my name's Harbert Tooth Marilar. Nice to meet you. I'm the constable here in Red Larch. Is there some kind of trouble I can help you with, sir?"
No, I would like to help you. And I look at my bardiche again.
He says, "You ain't from around here, are you, boy?" He says, "What sort of work do you do with that?" And nods at your bardiche.
Orcs, bandits, goblins.
He sighs in relief and the two other guys you notice, it would be fairly obvious. The other two guys actually were knives in hand, looking pretty wary, and they relaxed that, kind of laugh a little, chuckle. There was a little tense moment there. And Herbert kind of does a wave behind his back to the two of